Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strong Female Lead. I'm Tricia.
And I'm Tessa.
Hi, Tessa.
Hey, how's it going? How's your Halloween week happening or going or?
Ooh, my spooky October week.
Or what is it, spooky season, as the news keeps saying?
Oh, is that what it's saying?
Yeah, John Oliver did a bit about how, like, every time it's October, all the news stations say, oh, welcome to spooky season. And so now I use spooky season. Now it's part of my vernacular.
It is spooky season. I just spent a spooky day indoors doing some spooky work on my computer, just hanging and being spooky, thinking about a costume that I'd like to dress Sawyer up in, because I know people won't be trick-or-treating, so I thought maybe I will just walk him around in something.
Yeah. What's the costume? Or is it a secret? Is it a surprise?
Well, you know, I haven't decided yet, so it's neither.
So it's a surprise to both of us.
I mean, we do have a pair of antlers, or they look like wolves' ears. We got them at the Wolf Lodge or whatever that place is. And he looks cute in those, but I don't know.
That's cute. I'm sad that, like, kids can't have Halloween, but I mean, adult Halloween isn't canceled, just kids Halloween.
I know, it's true. Adults can still hang out, social distancing.
Yeah, bars will still be open and social distance.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, that's really funny. Yeah, adult parents are probably celebrating like far and wide that they don't have to take their kids trick-or-treating.
Right? Or just throw them a party in the house. They just want to dress up and get candy. Go room to room trick-or-treating. Or set up a haunted house in your house. That'd be cool.
That's adorable. Room to room. I love that. Ooh. Well, how was your spooky day, spooky week?
Not spooky at all. I've been on a shopping spree for my COVID Part 2 future life. So I've been purging a lot of stuff. It looks like I'm moving out of my apartment right now. Everything is like pretty much in boxes or bags to be thrown away. And I've got a bunch of furniture coming. So we shall see how this all turns out. I'm not planning on going out for Halloween, and I cannot be forced out of my apartment, even though there are bars all around me, and they're all doing Halloween stuff, and they have alcohol.
You know what I think you should do?
What?
I think you should take a hot tip from the SFL in our movie that we're covering today. See my awkward transition that I just came up with. But seriously, you should have a party like Ma. Octavia Spencer, a middle school showdown party, and you got to be dancing in the middle, and you got to be doing your like
then
whatever.
I also have to have an ulterior plan. I have to be trying to murder them, and like, I mean,
but what if it was? What if it was that you were just opening the place to party? Now, I guess this isn't very social distancing. So
this is true. I can't have their little COVID fingers on my stuff.
They're nasty, filthy.
Their little COVID fingers just licking all my stuff.
COVID fingers just licking and then touching.
Yeah, and then touching all my glassware.
They're French kissing and then they're touching.
Oh,
gross. But maybe
or you could bring Sawyer by to Ma's veterinary hospital and just get him checked out.
Oh my God, no, because
does he need shots or his?
I mean, he always needs something, but she will give him. She'll take his blood.
Well,
she'll
only
use
a
it,
little.
give it to a human. But that human would have the most pure, kind Sawyer blood in them.
See, and isn't that an upgrade?
Probably.
Isn't she helping? See, I didn't find as many flaws with her plan. You know, there were some flaws in the logic.
In the execution.
The plan was execution flawless. She nailed it.
So, everybody, we are covering the 2019 American psychological horror film, Blumhouse film, Ma, starring Octavia Spencer, Juliette Lewis, and who is the woman that you said?
Oh shoot.
Oh, sorry. What was her name?
She was in Allison Janney.
Allison Janney,
for some reason.
Oh my God.
Also why?
Truly. And Juliette Lewis. I was just confused.
Great. I was like, I think she's stopped aging too. Whatever she's doing, it's working.
She's wonderful. It was a really good cast and a really terrible movie. So it basically, the plot is a group of teens befriend this lonely middle-aged woman. I just laugh because like it's just like what a trope. My God, it's the first sentence. It's just lonely middle-aged woman, and they befriend her because she buys them beer, which I have done, by the way, like exactly what they were doing, and that was very funny to watch them.
Did it work?
Outside of a liquor store and ask someone. Yeah, it definitely worked. Maybe once or twice. I have like a vague memory of doing it. I don't even know who it was with. And I remember being around. I don't know if I asked the person or if I was just like laughing, but I remember being in that kind of situation and being like, wow, this is what we're doing. And I do remember getting it. So there you have it. But we were not invited to someone's place, and thank God. But Ma invites these kids to her place, not that night, right? Like they go to the rock pile.
Right. Yeah.
And then she gets back in touch with them by like going,
like, let's go get drunk and hang out with all the jagged rocks in Ohio. Like,
well, again, not far off. So like I am from Ohio. I'm not from a rural seeming area like that, but like we drank in fields. Like, let's just go to the field.
Yeah, well, that's safe. That's safe-ish. I mean, you know, it's not just like, it's literally, it's like running with scissors. Like you're just being drunk and hanging out with Jagged Rock with all the other drunk high friends. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Were they just like?
I mean, I guess it's a team thing.
Has places to sit.
Why are all these rocks just here? Do you just blow shit up in rural Ohio and then just walk away from the debris?
I mean,
why are there just piles of jagged rocks in Ohio?
Well, absolutely. You
Unattended.
do something and then you walk away from the debris. I mean, that is the essence.
I'm imagining like a slow walk, like a movie, like an action movie, like you're just blowing shit up and slow walking away. Just an Ohio story.
I really like that you think it's that like funky of a thing that they did. It's probably some construction project gone awry, not some like Keanu Reeves scene. But you know what? Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, yeah, that's very. I mean, some of it was speaking to me in the like asking someone to get you drinks and then going somewhere in nature, but like not great nature. Just like rocks nature, field nature to drink. But yeah,
this is always basements. Always basements drinking.
Always
and I'm pretty sure one of my friend's parents just bought us the alcohol and was just like, don't drink that, but would like leave it in the basement and then we would always drink it. And then she never got in trouble. So I was like, is that the same as your parents buying us alcohol? Is that the same thing? I feel like it's the same mob vibe. Like, you know, if you're going to do it in the house. I wouldn't do it if you didn't provide the alcohol.
I think it is the same thing. And I think you were mod.
By my friend's parents, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one way to get your kids some friends. Even though we were already friends, but.
She wants to keep its retention rate.
Yeah. I think that's
she wants to keep the friends. I mean, who hasn't drank alcohol of the adults who owned the place and drank it in their basement? Like, looking at that now, I'm just like, what dicks? You know, like, could you imagine just stealing someone's alcohol and drinking
I would be
it in the
so
basement?
mad. I love my bar card. I'm looking at it like just off.
Right.
We're on a Zoom call, and so I'm just staring at my bar card and just coming home and like half the alcohol being gone. I would be so mad. Alcohol is not cheap.
It is so rude. But when you're a teen,
right?
It does not matter. You're like, yeah, I'll fill it up with water. And I'm like ruining their experience. Like, from that point on, and they obviously knew. I mean, they had to know. And I'm thinking, ooh, like, oh my God. Yeah, we'll just Kathleen, we'll just fill it up with water. Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, it's fine.
I would be so mad if I was like sitting down after a stressful day and I just mixed what I thought was a martini and I take a sip and it's goddamn water. I would spit that out immediately and then like be rageful towards my family.
It would be a full-on rage fest. But like, yeah, when you're a kid, you're just like, what? You don't let me, so this is what I have to do. And there's like no thinking or regard for like the other person's hard-earned money. I just, oh my, this is when, see, I'm relating to the parents. I'm not relating to Ma, but once again, I don't even have kids, but I am relating to the parents. Like, that is my dollar that I spent on that fucking booze. Don't do it. Well, so Ma gets these kids to come to her place by showing up again to get them alcohol. And then it just gets creepier and creepier. And she continues to invite them over, starts throwing these big parties where she's inviting all the kids at one point.
Yeah,
like
it seemed
outside
like from
of
other
their
schools.
circle.
And I was like, well, how do you know these other kids?
Because she's doing the same shit. She's rounding up children, and we come to learn that she went to the same high school or a high school nearby and went to school with all their parents and has a vendetta against them for how they treated her, which was terribly, but again, not enough of a reason to then like drug the kids and try to kill them and like sew one of their mouths shut and paint the only black other black character other than her daughter white. I was like, what? So that's it. That's Ma.
I didn't get that one.
I mean,
yeah, guys, this wasn't great. This wasn't great. Usually, like, there are multiple redeeming qualities to a film. This one is only the acting. If the acting wasn't so good, I probably would have turned this off. It feels like a Netflix original more than an actual like Blumhouse movie that they spent money on. Like, I think the budget was $5 million on this. And I was like, it was all in the cast salaries because 100%. How did you get Octavia Spencer and what's her name?
Juliette Lewis and
Lewis, Anderson Janney, like all in salary.
And there wasn't a lot of, I mean, it was the school, it was the rock pile, it was a veterinary clinic, it was the lead actress's house, and then it was the basement. The set wasn't that wasn't that
this feels like it was filmed in a weekend. Like, I don't understand where the money went. If the acting
was a film project.
Exactly. Like, someone probably pitched this as their senior thesis. They're like, we got it in film school. We got it. It's an old lady, but she likes young kids. But twist, she's crazy.
Twist.
What?
That started out liking young kids, but there's a twist. She's also crazy.
Not in a Finding Neverland type way. Just in a, hey, you're at a party, I'm at a party type way.
But then it becomes, I'm into you. It kind of
becomes a Finding Neverland type situation at the end.
It becomes, I'm into you because I gave your dad head in high school.
But then she didn't. She gave some other boy head, and I was like, I don't get it. Why aren't you? Why isn't your vendetta against that other boy?
I thought it was still
acceptor of the head. Like,
I thought it was
recipient. Him. No, it was another guy. Like, she went into the closet thinking it was Ben Hawkins, the dad, but then it wasn't him. It was someone else, and that's why she was so mad. She's like, "You tricked me," and blah blah blah. You made me think you were into me, and then he wasn't because it was such a big joke.
Oh, I thought the whole joke was everyone was like, ta-da, outside. And that's what made her think. It's like a terrible birthday surprise, like right when she gets out. Ta-da! Oh, yeah, hi. We've all been out here.
The whole time? Would have been my response. You've been here the whole time?
So, I mean, is there anything else I'm missing? I mean, the protagonist is the daughter of Juliette Lewis, and Juliette Lewis knew Ma in high school and didn't step in to stop what happened, but wasn't the cause of it. And that's like the typical bystander, like high school bystander sort of situation. Do you know what I mean? It's so common. And it's not on her shoulders, but like, you wish that you had a little more, like
a little bit more of a backbone,
right? When you're
but
younger.
Then again, like she yells out at one point, like they were kids, and I'm like, that only excuses Juliette's behavior. Nobody else's in not stepping in. Everyone else is just dead wrong and probably should be have gone to juvie at least for. What is actually a sexual assault.
I know, right? Because she didn't consent.
But I may destroy you standards. This is a sexual assault. And the world standards. So I just don't understand why we didn't tell this whole story from the perspective of Octavia Spencer. Like, why were we getting flashbacks of her in high school? This should have just started with her in high school and then growing up and then getting a twisted type of revenge on, like, she should have been the one who moved back to town because she's like, lost her job in the big city. She had thought she was over all of this. And then she moves back home to Ohio and then realizes she's not. And not only is she not, but she's like still mad about it. Not only is she still mad about it, she's, gonna enact revenge. And this is how she gets that revenge. But I was like, why am I watching Juliette Lewis's daughter do anything? Because she was so boring. She's beautiful, but so boring. Why are you here? Is the whole only thing I was thinking. And she's like, she's just like so awkward to me. And I was like,
I know. I was like, I didn't get it.
And they looked so young, and I was like, this is what happens when you actually cast teenagers as teenagers. I am disinterested.
The one, like, the boy who Juliette Lewis's daughter was into, I was like, he's 5. He's 5. This is terrifying.
Yes.
He was so skinny. I was like, that's
Isn't there a younger Hemsworth we can get in here? Like, just like someone who's like, what? No, high schoolers should be played by people in their young 20s. Like, these kids look like they were actually 17, and it was hella awkward.
You know what? That's really funny. Is I never thought about that. I always laughed and thought, like, why did they cast like, people in their 20s or late 20s as high schoolers? Maybe it's because of, like, I don't know, child labor laws, or I didn't know what I thought it was. But now it's like, I can't get. It makes sense. I can't get into any sort of sexiness in which the human being themselves is actually like 15.
Like this should have been like, I would even take this for like a Disney Channel's like Spook Fest. Like, just remove the 3 murders that were there and just like, oh, there's a crazy mom. This would have been so fine on Disney Plus. But yeah, it's so awkward to watch actual teens like make out, because I'm like, I shouldn't be here. One of us this shouldn't be happening in my presence. I felt like I related more to Ma at this moment. I was like, I don't want to watch teens make out ever.
But she did. Ew. She did want to watch it. That was the weird thing. Now, here's a question. Didn't Ma seem a lot older than the other people she supposedly went to high school with? And it might have just been the way she dressed and stuff and carried herself. And I don't know Octavia Spencer's real age, but I was like, when she said, oh, we haven't seen each other in like, what's it been, 15 years? I was like, what?
So, yeah, and I was like, you don't look like you're in your mid-30s. Or
it's like if we're supposed to be adding from 18, like, yeah, I don't understand that.
Maybe they all also went to college together, but that still only put them in their late 30s.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I know Juliette Lewis did. I mean, they all look like to me like they were in their like early 40s. Ma did look older, but I think it's just the hair and the clothes.
Okay.
When she went on that
Octavia
date,
Spencer. Yeah.
No idea.
I'm gonna look it up. When she went on the date?
Yeah, I thought she looked like young then, but that like bowl like haircut that she was rocking, I was like,
I mean, but she's 50.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is Juliette Lewis?
Trying. Oh, you know what? I bet Juliette Lewis is close to that. I'm 47.
1973. Okay, so yeah, that's
okay.
They're contemporaries, like
for sure. Then it must have been the way she was, and just Ma, the name. And how did that even start? Like, I didn't quite. The kid just called her that.
Yeah. I was like, maybe that's an Ohio term of endearment. I don't know.
No, the boy.
She said, "My name is Sally Ann," and he said, "Ma," back to her, and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, or Sue Ann or something. Yeah. Oh God. Okay, so
let's start with our rating.
I don't even know.
What would you give this movie, Tricia? Just let the people know whether or not they should commit their time. It is, like, to its credit, it is only 90 minutes.
That doesn't make a movie watchable. It's still 90 minutes of your life.
But you can endure it.
It's still 90 minutes you don't get back, even if it's a clean 90 minutes. But yeah, I mean, a 1.
1? Solid.
A solid 1. It was terrible. It was terrible. And and I asked my mom to watch it with me because I was like, we'll spend some mother-daughter quality time. It's called Ma. I didn't tell her it was like a bloody horror movie, but I'm like, it's supposed to be a little scary. And then she was just like full on dipping out. Like, you guys can't see me, but Tessa, you can. She'd be like,
yeah.
Point.
I would have done that, like, slide off the couch so you can't see me on the Zoom call. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm totally watching. And I'm just doing anything else out of the screen. I was cleaning while I was doing it. I was like, why is it still happening? And / nothing was happening like 40 minutes in.
I mean, there was a point where Ma, who kills Ben Hawkins because of what he did to her, and she gives him the blood of the boring girl's dog, Louie. And because he's a dog, so he'll have dog blood. And then it looks like she's going to cut off his penis, and she grabs a dick, and we see it. And that was a moment with my mother that I wasn't expecting, because I mean, fine.
But did it bring you closer together?
My mom is very conservative, and I think that hi Mom, because you'll probably listen to this episode because you watched the movie. I think, it probably made her uncomfortable, and it's a movie, but it was just like everything else in it. What was the point? What point?
I don't know. End of statement. I don't know. I don't know what was
your rating.
I feel like I want to give it like a 1.5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
that extra half is just for the acting. I mean, I felt like Octavia Spencer was doing a lot in terms of bringing this character to life. But she just had nothing to work with, in my opinion. And I kind of thought this was going to be like Black Carrie, and I was disappointed that I got none of those like jilted prom, like really dramatic murder, like kind of like even an 80s spoof, like to bring in like the elements of the 80s and to everyone to be culturally aware of Carrie.
I've never seen Carrie.
What?
Can you believe it?
I know. Yeah, that's insanity. Oh, we should have done Carrie. No offense, Mom, but like the goats or I think it's goat's blood that they pour at the prom. Like I wanted them to do something with high school. Like I just felt like this was weird. Like this is like you'd have to suspend so much of your critical thinking in order to enjoy this. So because this doesn't make sense to me. Like what teens want to hang out in the basement of a woman, just a random woman? Like it'd be different if they knew that the daughter was upstairs and be like, yeah, she just never comes down. Like she's such a clean teener, straight edge person. Right. But they never knew she was there. You're just following alcohol from house to house. Have you never seen like 60 Minutes or like just the like ID Discovery Murder Channel doesn't exist in this universe, or the news?
I would like to say that I would not have done that. Like throughout the movie, this was kind of interesting watching with my mom, because my mom was like, oh, those kids, they're really engaging in some risky behavior. Oh my gosh. And she keeps saying that. And yeah, it was definitely risky. And I have never done that. But I can relate to the not quite thinking about the consequences. But then after one moment of just a weird, like one weird moment, I would have been, if I had done it, which I don't think I would have been the hell out of there. And they kept going back. And that was when I was like, I'm sorry, you heard her beating someone. And then she threw you up against the wall, but you went back.
And she pulled a gun on you.
Oh,
like right out the gate. She pulled a gun on these kids. And then she's like, it's not a real gun. Yeah.
And got in the strip. Oh my God.
A minor. And I was like, how is this funny? That's the Neverland shit that I was talking about earlier. I was like, it did kind of take a Neverland twist towards the end, but I don't think that those should be the moments that you're left with in a horror movie. I want to be left with genuine scares and murders, and I'm just like, man, I hope I don't go that way. This is just like, don't trust older women. They'll make you strip.
Right. That is what, okay. So I totally forgot that she pulled the gun and made him strip like within 5 minutes of them being in the house. So
yeah.
Did they
strangely
need
aggressive
alcohol?
though? I was like, ooh.
Oh, I know, like how she could change her place. I was like, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, and he was like hovering over her like Trump at that debate. I was like, oh, back up.
He was trumping her. Yeah.
He tried.
I think, okay, so terrible that they all went and that they needed alcohol that badly. I mean, there's other ways to get it. My God, don't you have?
They had so much weed.
It's so much weed. Who are they getting the weed from? Get them to get you booze. It's probably someone's older brother. Like, why is this so hard? And then I love how it's older brother. That's very 80s, 90s, but it's true. It's always someone's older brother. Yeah. But it really, like, I love Octavia for taking on the role and just like doing what she did with it. And she was incredible. The movie was so bad that it didn't make up for it. Her acting didn't make up for it to me, but why do we have to just be afraid of quote unquote older women who are about like my age, 5 years older.
I feel like you're just
why do they have to be weird and so jaded? Like, what the fuck?
Because that's what happens when you get a divorce and a bad haircut. You just go crazy. I love how she was trying to misery her daughter the whole time too, and I was like, we're just never going to talk about that. We're just never going to come back to her. What is that movie with that came out that the mom was like making
Gypsy
the daughter
Rose?
Gypsy Rose, yeah. She was also Gypsy Rosing her, and I was like, there's so many layers to this character. Why did we have to meet the rest of the world at all?
We didn't have to. We never got an explanation on why she has Munchausen's by proxy. Like, why is she doing that to her? Oh, yeah. Her argument was to keep her safe from school, and it's like, yeah.
But you let her go to school sometimes, and why don't you just homeschool her? There are alternatives.
Why does she have to be in a wheelchair?
I don't know. I didn't understand that. That's it's even funnier because when we first meet the daughter, we don't know that it's Ma's daughter, and she's just like at the bottom of a ramp, and her chair doesn't have enough juice to get up the ramp. And this whole time she could walk. That's hilarious. I love that she's sitting there. What? That makes no sense. That's dedication to her role too. I'm gonna bump this movie up to 2 stars.
She's dedicated to her craft.
Right.
Oh my god, I should take off my fur vest. I'm hot.
Oh yeah. We're recording and Tricia like came back on screen and it looks like she's wearing a fur vest in bed. I was like, you fancy. Oh, you fancy. You're sleeping fur. I was like, oh wow.
I am fancy. My sleepwear. Oh my god, I'm dying.
She's sitting there for a while.
But here's the thing though. Put yourself in the daughter's position. If she just gets up, it's gonna look bad on her. Like she could come in one day walking and be like, oh, I'm healed. I mean, that's a little better than just like, fuck this chair. I'm out. And like, right? What just but
she's been committing to this bit for like 10 years of like all of her schooling, and now she's just too frustrated because she can't. Her chair's out of juice, and she's just like, I'm over it. This was the last straw.
But what's even better is like,
it would be better if she went on the murder rampage. She should have done the murdering.
Yeah, she definitely.
Like, how dare you exclude me, Ma? From you won't let me participate in high school, but you can. Murder.
She had every reason to murder. But I'm just thinking now, like in a typical Munchausen situation, not that any of them are typical, but like you're really making the child sick and you have them believing full on that they need a wheelchair or they need some treatment. Mm-hmm. So if they were really committing, she would have been in the wheelchair at home also. For the most part. But instead, when the girls walk up, you can see her in the corner of the scene, like just like wandering around. When I saw that, I'm like, when is this little person with the short hair going to confront these girls? Because you just kept seeing her walk by, and I'm like, so she's just never in the wheelchair at home. So it's a full dedication to the craft at school.
And it's not even like what I imagine to be like a traditional wheelchair. It's like a motorized scooter. Like, I was like, that is like expensive.
Maybe they have good insurance.
At the vet clinic? I don't think so.
Yeah, and like, why does she work
killed
there?
Her husband? There was no evidence that she actually worked there. She was just there. She never answered her phone. She had one key. Alice and Janney seemed confused every time they were in the same scene. And so the evidence would suggest that she did not work there.
I know, but was she just like visiting or volunteering?
Oh. I thought Allison Janney was going to be her only friend, but then she was mean. And I was like, well, maybe that's for Kate.
Also annoyed for good reason. Ma was never doing anything.
Right? That's why I'm unconvinced that she actually worked there. I think she was an overzealous customer.
Oh my God, that would be funny that's Allison Janney's mean because she is confused why you're there. And then if you're there, why you're not doing something. Like, why would you be there and not do something?
Right? Maybe she's like a volunteer and she's like, if you're going to volunteer here, do something.
I know, Allison Janney was
because all
really
she has to do is not be on the phone and like answer the phone. Like that's a volunteer. That's like a call center volunteer.
She really, and Allison Janney committed to her role too.
She did.
I mean, mean, it was just, you know, she was supposed to be just mean, and she was.
And she nailed it.
She was a mean boss. But also, we're not sure she was a boss. Maybe she was supposed to be a mentor or a volunteer lead. Volunteer
Vets
coordinator.
Without Borders. Yes.
And okay, so what about, now I'm just thinking about all these weird little scenes. So Octavia Spencer never has anyone fill out their actual intake form.
She's just stealing pets.
I thought it was that she didn't have them fill it out so that she could just like take the medication. But then I'm like, but that doesn't line up because don't you need to have an intake form to be like, I'm like, why aren't you making anyone do their paperwork? And why do I?
She knows too much about them. I was like, why could someone else fill out this paperwork for you? I'm sure it's just like your name and address and your phone number. And I was like, why would you agree to that? Was creepy to me. And I was like, how could you fill that out? Like to Juliette Lewis when she was new in town? How do you know where I live? How do you have my phone number?
Okay, so now I take that back. Like I do want to fill out my intake information when I go to a place.
Is there an online form I can do in the car or like how could...
And why was Juliette Lewis like totally okay with Octavia dropping by to see how the dog was? Because no thanks.
People
Ohio.
I was like, maybe this is some Ohio hospitality, but like people show up at my door, I don't just let them in.
No, hell no. Oh, and you're not like, I wanted to see if he had reactions to his booster shots or whatever the hell he has to get. Like, stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, lots of weird. I did like the moment where Ben Hawkins, security mogul of Ohio, turned security vehicle mogul, which is he's not a mogul, but in Ohio he probably is in this area.
Yeah, he is.
Security vehicles is an interesting little business to get into. Armored vehicles.
I mean, I would just steal all the stuff. I would not even try to like deliver it anywhere.
Right.
I would only want it like museum stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very
good. You have to be very, very disciplined.
Yeah, like the jewels exhibit. I don't think any of that's making it to the destination. I'll just be walking around encrusted.
What about
bedazzled?
What's that exhibit with the eggs? Fabergé eggs. He just steals a bunch of Fabergé
I would die. I would die to break a Fabergé egg. Just to see people's faces. Yeah, just to see people's faces as I push it over like a cat. Oh, it'd be so satisfying. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I would.
Just like a little kitten paw knocking it over, but it's me.
Yeah, you're a kitten paw. Let me know if you're ever planning on doing that, because I love full-on states of shock.
Yes.
So like
an audible gasp from the crowd.
Oh yeah. And lots of looks around, and then someone with, an earpiece running over some museum.
I'd be like, it's fine, guys. It's insured. Yeah. Don't even worry about it. Super glue, a little E6000 glue. You'll be fine.
And you just trying to piece it all back together, fumbling.
Yeah.
So I really like when he showed his cards at the bar, because I was sort of like, I didn't quite buy that he was hitting on her. Although I was kind of like, well, well, you never know, but like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then it just all happened very quickly. But he made sure he finished his drink, though. And why doesn't she drink? Which is an interesting, like, we don't get into it anymore. I mean, what, she starts dancing and then killing kids? Because, like, that's what happened.
She probably doesn't want it to interfere with all the meds she's on. like, oh, can't take that kind of chance. Gotta be responsible. And she's like weirdly like conservative about not taking the Lord's name in vain was one of her rules. Maybe she's like a Jehovah's Witness or something, and she just can't party or any of it.
Oh my God. Yeah, and then
it would explain the outfits also.
What's that?
Her being a Jehovah's Witness would explain the outfits also. Very conservative, like
they don't.
Well,
they
the
don't
date
talk
one
about
wasn't.
it. They don't talk about it though. Like, what the fuck? They could have. I would have loved if she would have had some super religion.
Yeah, she threw a Bible at someone and then shot them. That'd be so funny.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, watch your mouth.
The power of Christ, and then throw the Bible and then shoot them when they try to catch it.
Old Testament, their ass.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then the sassy friend. You know, I was just like, all right. I mean, like, I get it. You'd need one because the other one was so boring. And I know she was supposed to be like uncomfortable and awkward and all that. But like, there were points where I was just like, I don't think your limbs are attached to your body. And then it did make me feel a little strange. I was like, she really is 15. 16. Like, her arms and legs are acting wild to me.
Yeah, just like her mannerisms of like always being like so closed off, like she's always like crossing her body in some way, and I'm like, girl, get it together.
Girl, open
I guess, you know, you're 16
to the world.
Yes, this boy who is also 16, aka 10, likes you.
I mean, I kind of looked like that. Not, she was beautiful. I did not look like that, but my body was sort of weird like that, and I was always kind of uncomfortable, but like, I just didn't understand why she had to be so awkward. Like, all of those attributes, just none of them added to anything.
Right.
The boy didn't need to look 8. The girl didn't have to be sassy, except that she had her lips. Maybe they just wanted to lead to someone having their lips sewn up. The iron, I don't know what that was.
I didn't get that.
Didn't get like any of the symbolism.
And I didn't get that there was like another friend. There was another girl in the basement with like really big eyes, and I was like, are you part of this friend group?
Oh, another plot hole. So she apparently like pretends to fall asleep so she doesn't have to drink, but I'm sorry, you didn't. If you were pretending to fall asleep, then you were definitely conscious when you were getting like locked up.
Yeah.
So what's the deal, girl? Like, she thought it was part of the party. She kept getting up every once in a while. It was weird.
Yeah. And it was weird because at the photo at the end, I'm pretty sure she wasn't in it. So I was like, that's so rude to just be like an extra to a murder and like not even be included in the murder photo. Like, how offensive is that? I would die just from the embarrassment of not being chosen to be murdered in a murder house with all my friends.
She didn't murder her, she threw her.
Yeah, rude. Because she wasn't a part of the original core group. And I was like, ow.
Yeah.
What were all of my feelings you stepped on? How rude. That's so rude.
Never keep Tessa. Do not keep Tessa out of the murder photo.
No. Never. If I'm down here also, rude. Rude.
Oh my God. This is just like, it's just so, oh God. I mean, I don't even, should we even ask the question? What message? What message is this film, you know, trying to convey to us regarding femininity, masculinity, and the things?
I think it's, well, at least for masculinity, it's pretty set in the masculinity is aggressive and undependable and toxic, except for the cop, who was actually like seemed like kind of a nice guy. Like he let them off the first time, and then he got killed. All the good guys die. That's what they're saying about masculinity. There are no good men because they're all dead. Yeah. About femininity, I think it shines an interesting light on what could be toxic femininity. I'm determined that this exists. There has to be a toxic femininity if there's a toxic masculinity. And it could be Ma. And that you're not dealing with emotions, you're just letting them fester, and you're creating elaborate schemes that end in murder. And then you get a trigger, and then you act out those fantasies. I think somewhere in there. I think just like unsettled, unresolved shit always comes back to you.
Yeah, because that's the cause. That has to be the cause of toxic masculinity. So
yeah, I was also thinking that the, yeah, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was thinking that the daughter was going to be like the rape baby of Ben and Octavia. And I was like, not even that came out? Like, come on. Oh my God. This is just like.
I know. Zero
it's not my story, so I'm like, yeah. I'm like, come on.
Not your story. It's not your story to tell. Not your story to tell.
Let me get in there with the Blumhouse producers. We'll get this straightened out, and Carrie, the Black Carrie is what I wanted.
I think, yeah, I like the idea of toxic femininity, but then they also, you know, I mean, what are the characteristics you would give toxic femininity? I know you said repressing, plotting, but like characteristics, it would be, because they show cattiness, you know, with the one woman, the blonde woman, who then dies running.
Trying to think of the traits that are typically associated to femininity.
Nurturing.
Overly nurturing, taking in too many and responsibilities that aren't yours, and inserting yourself into dynamics that you shouldn't be a part of, or
and taking care, like Munchausen's by proxy is almost like as a syndrome, exactly what toxic femininity could be, you know, just like really taking it a bit far, the caretaker role, like turning it on its head.
Do you think she killed her husband? It didn't say in the movie, but do you think she killed him?
You said that before, and I totally forgot. I kind of thought we weren't supposed to know, but think that maybe she did. But then again, him leaving, I mean, I hate to say, like, well, you had that coming, but if she was displaying any of that shit, and then with the daughter, but then it's kind of like, yeah, but would a dad, I just can't reconcile, although I know it happens, a dad just leave his daughter in that state, or like, would that have just happened later, afterwards? I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I thought maybe she murdered him, because I don't want to paint him as a bad guy.
Absentee.
Because, yeah, it's like, if you find the relationship to be so toxic that you have to leave as the adult in the room, why would you think it's appropriate to leave your child to be raised by that?
I think you'd have a pretty good chance at getting custody.
Yeah. You'd have a strong case. She's got guns.
And she was still wearing the wedding ring, which you wouldn't do if you divorced someone. Her joke about, like, my fingers are too fat, but, like, you don't continue wearing the ring if you're divorced.
No, it's like a widow's thing.
Right.
It is a widow. Yeah.
Yeah, and even then, you don't always. Like, I mean, my mom has worn rings of my dad's, but I don't know if she continued to wear the wedding ring, though. I don't know, but it's definitely, it's very much like something you would do if the person was deceased. So maybe. Yeah, I think maybe her, but like, again, something we could have gone into.
Yes, start with him being the, the catalyst for all the other murders. Maybe he also went to the high school, and that's why she doesn't like the black kid. Maybe that's. Why didn't she like that guy? I'm so confused. Why did she paint his face white? Was she trolling him? I'm so confused by that. I was like, I missed something. Maybe I fell asleep, but
we had a serious case of white face, and it was uncomfortable.
It was like,
but it didn't even hurt him though. Like, she was hurting the other kids, and him, I thought maybe she was going to try and paint his eyes shut, or like so he couldn't, like he'd suffocate, but instead she was just like, I'll just give him a white face. Oh, he could still breathe though, so she wasn't trying to kill him.
Maybe she used like toxic paint on him or something that she knew was going to irritate his skin. It just seems so simple. Like, you hang out with white kids, now your face is painted white. Like, is that what it is?
Trolling him. She was trolling everyone. The ultimate troll.
Yeah, but I feel like the other ones got specific punishments. Like the mouthy girl got her mouth sewn shut. I didn't get the iron.
Yeah, I don't even know what she said.
It's just annoying as fuck. He was the only one I didn't really mind. I was like,
I thought, was it like washboard abs? Like, was it some sort of like thing like that? Like, I could iron on your abs.
Oh, maybe right? That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. She was saying something when she was ironing. I just wasn't listening.
Yeah, and I that's the only connection I could think, and that was weird. And then when she, oh my god, it's like I'm having a flashback of the young Ben Hawkins kissing her. Oh god, I forgot that happened. And I know he was trying to kind of like, he was attempting, and good for him. He was really like, he was taking one for the team to try and figure out that situation the best he could. I didn't buy it because it was too like, mama. Like, it was very like baby bird and then make out with her, and I was like, what?
It was terrible because he actually looked 16, and I was like, this is awkward for everyone.
I know, that was really, really bad.
Yeah, and I feel like if I didn't have to feel so awkward because of the age of the actors, maybe I could have enjoyed this more. I was like,
hold on, we gotta find out here. I gotta look up that kid's age. I gotta find out the age of these kids as we're talking about them. Truly, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna IMDb Ma.
Oh my god, I looked up one. Diana Silver's born 1997. Oh my god, she's in her 20s.
Oh really? Which one's that though?
Juliette Lewis's daughter.
But when was this made?
Oh, I don't know when it was.
1997?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So she could have been around 20. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, Corey, here we go. The child. The little tiny child. When were you born? Here's your birth, man. It's your birth age.
Dude, this is crazy. Now I'm looking at Diana Silver's IMDb, and she was in Booksmart, and I remember her, and she did not look, I was like, huh, who is this older girl amongst all of these like obvious teens? And she was, okay, well, it's the costume department then.
Oh, funny. Okay, so you know when you Google and stuff starts popping up, I put in the kid's name, Corey Fogelmanus or Fagelmanus, I don't know what it is. First thing that pops up is his name and then feet.
What?
I'm like, I don't get it. Okay, so he's 21 now.
Oof. Yeah.
So that means he was like 18, 17. Yeah, that's young. But he also just looks very, 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 very young.
Yeah.
Good God. Good God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to show you. I know, listeners, you can't see this, but I'm going to show Tessa a picture of him when he was really young.
Oh my God. That's what he looked like to me in the movie. He may as well look the exact same.
Oh my God, look, shirt off, cute abs,
No.
his boxers, gymnastics.
No, nobody wants these. Teen girls are creepy.
Oh my
Who's
God,
putting this out here?
And
if he's 18 now, who's putting this out here?
He's 21 now.
Oh, okay. Just kidding. Still.
The filth in the world. I can't believe the first thing that popped up was feet.
Ew.
God.
Is he a dancer? That would make sense. Like.
Oh my God. Okay.
Why is he just being photographed without shoes? That's where you lost me.
I don't know.
I know that that's a good thing for like female actors, like feet shots, but I'm like, what?
It is?
It gets feet or feet. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Dudes are like super into like celebrity feet. Like it's
What's thing. Feet or feet?
What?
You said it's feet or feet?
No, I said celebrity. People are into celebrity feet.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something like it's feet or feet, and then I was like, oh, is that like a game?
Oh no, I think I said, oh well, I guess feet are feet, like male feet or female feet. I guess if you're just into feet, then does it really matter?
Oh God. Just hate feet. Okay, so yeah. SFL criteria. So in order to be an SFL, you must be, our criteria is top build, agency, and do you move the plot along?
Yes.
And yes.
Yeah, I'll give it to her. I give her, this is
an SFL.
This and 50 Shades has been, or is it 50 Shades or Bella? I guess they're the same person. Has been the most, like, the least, we've liked the movie the least, but the characters are still SFLs. I agree with
that. Yeah. Were they? I mean, there were certain aspects.
Bella was. No?
No, she didn't. One of them was. One of them, remember? Wasn't. Yeah. Someone, maybe the 50 Shades girl, she had a little more, like, she moved the plot along a little bit more. Bella was just like, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I don't remember. Yeah.
But they were like poor movies, but then writing in 50 Shades, writing like a strong-ish female character. Yeah, but Octavia like checks all of the boxes. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. She's got all that agency. And she is,
as you like to say, as Tessa likes to say, all the agency.
She's got all the agency. But all just using it for evil, which is what I would do if I was in a film. But I digress.
Oh God. Well, Jesus. It just.
No, you can't say that.
Oh,
it's one of the rules.
Right. I'm sorry, Ma. I'm sorry, Ma. And then I'm sorry, Mom. For making you watch this with me and painting it as mother-daughter time, and then she just was traumatized. She said she's only watched one other scary movie.
What?
Yeah, that's what she told me yesterday.
What was it? What was the other one?
Oh, you know what?
Was it Psycho?
She didn't say, and I didn't ask, and I think it was because I was really tired and I was sort of falling asleep. Or close to falling asleep near the end of the movie. I'm going to ask her, but she said she's only watched one other movie where she peeked through her fingers like this. It was in the movie theater.
That's so cute. I
know.
My parents hate horror movies.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. My dad will watch it. My mom, absolutely not.
I don't
She's
think
like,
of
what's on
parents
Hallmark?
liking horror movies.
Oh, my dad would traumatize all of us with horror movies when we were way too young to be watching like the real scary ones.
Oh my God.
Friday the 13th and Hellraiser and the one where Jeff Goldblum goes into the machine and then it's The Fly. That's what it's called.
Never seen The Fly.
Really? Do you not like Jeff Goldblum?
I love Jeff Goldblum.
He's a magical man.
Yeah. He just
it's
has
a
this
Goldblum movie.
He has a way.
Right?
He just has a
just
way.
Swagger for days. That guy gets it.
He just sort of floats around.
Right? I'm never not excited to see him in literally anything. Or if it's just his voice, I'll take that too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's wonderful. I'll look that up. I remember Friday the 13th for sure. Freddy. Wait, was that Freddy? Yeah, that was Freddy.
Yeah.
Which now thinking about it just seems so quaint. I'm just like, knives for fingers.
That's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, whoops.
I was like, wait a second. Isn't he a dream monster? Like,
oh my God, I don't even know. What's
I do
Friday
love
the
those
13th?
movies, though.
Is that Jason? No, that's Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween is Michael Myers. Jason is Friday the 13th.
Oh God, I don't know any of it.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a horror movie expert, so if I'm wrong, then you can correct me in the comments or on Twitter. We're at SFL_Chicago on Twitter. You tweet at me. Tweet us what you're watching for Halloween, what you're doing for Halloween, if you're in a cute costume, or if you have suggestions for my cute costume.
Ooh, and you can find us on Instagram at StrongFemalePod, and feel free to leave recommendations for Sawyer's costume.
Yes.
The greyhound, he looks a little bit like a deer, and that seems like low-hanging fruit. Yeah. So I wanted to.
He could be a really good Freddy Krueger. I think if you got him a striped sweater, and I don't know what you do about the claws, but
oh my God.
But that would be so funny.
I wonder if we could get him like little booties.
Yeah.
Claws.
Yeah.
He would hate us. Oh God.
Just for one photo.
One photo.
Yeah.
I know. He won't even remember it. He won't remember this happened. He won't remember it. His mosquito brain will not remember. It'll be fine. Oh my God. Guys, listen, we know there's a bunch of other great horror movies out there. I chose Ma, and I chose poorly. But we had fun with it. I didn't know what I didn't know.
It has a relatively good score on IMDb. I was on board with this movie, and the acting caliber of actors in the movie just make you think, how could this go wrong? And then it went so wrong.
It went so wrong. But so really, you don't need to watch it. Just listen to the pod. That's really all you need to know. We probably dissected it.
Yeah. You got the highlights.
We looked into it more deeply.
Yeah.
Than anyone really should have.
Yeah. We've suggested corrections for the inevitable sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And so because was Ma captured? Are we sure she burned in the house fire? I think we saw her walk into the fire and lay next to Ben. But we never saw her die.
We never saw her die. Definitely keeping an opening.
Yes. It's going to turn into a happy death day scenario where this keeps on happening. She follows the kids to college. And then they're in a time loop of her murdering someone. Ugh.
Oh my God. What would the sequel be called? Just like Mama? Or or Ma 2? Ma again? Ma's back?
I just like Ma.
I know.
I just like Ma.
I know, because it's
maybe add an A for the sequel. M-A-A.
Ma!
Right.
Leave me alone. No more beer. All right. Well, that was amazing. I had a good time.
Guys. Yay.
All right. Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.